I'm really happy to advance to the next round. Obviously, it's not in the way I wanted it to end.
Is Alex Eala regaining her rhythm at last? Is this the time when she enters the prestigious top 50? What actually transpired on that Hong Kong court when Katie Boulter started crying? The most important question of all is whether the Filipino sensation would be able to withstand facing a top 25 opponent in just 2 days. All tennis fans are currently asking these questions. And what we saw at the Hong Kong Open on Tuesday could be the pivotal moment in Alex Eala's wild season. I have a question for you. When was the last time you witnessed a 20-year-old tennis player exhibit such poise and dignity following a victory that no one wanted to witness end the way it did? Because it wasn't just another game that took place on that Victoria Park Center court. It was a turning point in Alex's development as a professional athlete. The Philippines' 51st ranked player made it to the round of 16. However, her handling of the win reveals far more about her personality than any scoreline could. As might be expected from two fierce rivals vying for a spot in professional tennis, the match began with all the ferocity you would expect. Alex Eala thought she had everything to prove when she entered the match as the underdog against Katie Boulter of Britain. On paper, Boulter, rated 79th in the world, was the higher-seeded player, but anyone who has followed Eala's path knows that numbers don't tell the whole story. This year, this Filipino celebrity has defeated Grand Slam winners. She surprised the tennis world by overcoming Madison Keys, Jelena Ostapenko, and even the legendary Agate during her semi-final run at Miami. You could sense the energy in the air when these two took the court on Tuesday, October 28th. It was a fierce battle in the first set. Eala displayed her daring baseline game, which has become her signature, by coming out aggressive. Boulter was being moved from corner to corner by her powerful, deep ground strokes, and she was not giving the British player any easy points. Boulter, however, was also not giving up. Experience is on the side of the British number 4. She was an expert on these courts, having placed second in the same tournament the previous year. For a while, the set remained on serve. Neither player is ready to blink first, therefore they are both holding their ground. Then something changed. Eala discovered another piece of equipment. She began to anticipate the angles and read Boulter's serve more accurately. Abruptly, she presented a chance for a breakpoint. The Filipino attendees' cheers reverberated around Victoria Park, providing their hometown hero with a much-needed energy boost. Eala took advantage of the situation and broke Boulter's serve to gain a vital lead in the first set. Boulter made an instant attempt to retaliate, and she briefly succeeded, demonstrating the tenacity that has characterized her career. Eala, however, was not going to let this pass. With the audience cheering behind her, she recovered her momentum, broke back, and won the first set 6-4. Eala was up a set and serving in the second half of the match after 69 minutes. She broke Boulter once more to grab a 200-point lead after holding to go up 1. Everything was proceeding as planned. The young Filipina appeared to be a player poised to break into the top 50 as she was playing some of her best tennis, setting the pace and commanding the rallies. However, nothing in the crowd wanted to watch what happened next. Katie Boulter requested for her physiotherapist to enter the court at 2-1 in the second set. Witnesses were devastated by what transpired next. Boulter, the fierce British competitor who has endured numerous hardships throughout her career, started crying. Whatever the nature of the harm, it was now intolerable. She made the painful choice that every athlete fears after speaking with her physiotherapist. She was unable to go on. The game was ended. On a retirement, Alex Eala had won 64-2-1. Here's what distinguishes excellent players from mediocre ones. Alex Eala shown remarkable maturity and sportsmanship at that precise time, as the audience was still taking in what had just transpired. She didn't have a wild celebration. She didn't scream in victory or pump her fists. Rather, this 20-year-old approached the net genuinely worried about her opponent. She spoke calmly and sympathetically to the reporters later. "I'm a little at a loss for words. You know, I believe that many players are physically struggling at this time of year." She acknowledged that the end of the season is a difficult time for many players, both mentally and physically, and stated she was a little at a loss for words. She hoped Katie would be able to recuperate and look back on this season with pride. Take a moment to consider that. This player has been persevering through a difficult few weeks with several difficult losses, and she really needs every victory to break into the top 50. She is also considering the career and well-being of her opponent rather than simply celebrating the win. Class is that. That is a sign of a future champion. However, let's discuss Katie Boulter's implications, because we can better comprehend the difficulty Eala encountered when we are aware of her circumstances. Boulter's form has been going through a terrible period. Since Wimbledon, she has only won 3 tour-level games, and since the end of the previous season, when she was ranked number 24, she has dropped a startling 55 spots in the WTA rankings. She has only won 8 of her last 21 main draw matches and hasn't advanced past the second round of any competition since the Nottingham Open in June. She was anticipated to have a chance to turn things around at this Hong Kong Open, where she was a finalist the previous year. Rather, she had to retire in tears due to an injury that came at the worst possible time. The current injury crisis in women's tennis is starting to raise major concerns. The top player in Britain, Emma Raducanu, concluded her season early this month after missing her last 2 games due to sickness. After the September China Open, Yuiat declared the season to be too long and too intense. As the season comes to an end, we are witnessing victim after victim suffer the physical and psychological toll of the professional tennis circuit. What does this mean for Alex Eala, then? This is when things become pretty exciting, let me tell you. Her rating has risen to world number 51, up 2 spots from her previous number 53, and she is now formally in the round of 16 of the Hong Kong Open. She is literally just 1 or 2 strong results away from reaching what would be a career-defining milestone, the top 50. The real test, however, is about to begin. 2 days from now, on Thursday, Alex Eala will return to Victoria Park Centre Court to take against Canadian Victoria Mboko. Furthermore, this opponent is not just any opponent. Mboko is by far the best player IA will face in this competition, with a global ranking of 21. One of the most intriguing young prospects on the WTA Tour at the moment is the 19-year-old Canadian. From number 211 in February to her present status in the top 25, she has risen an astounding 188 ranking places this year alone. In a tough 3-set encounter, Mboko defeated Talia Gibson 67, 61, and 64 to move to this round, demonstrating both her tenacity and her capacity to win matches. This clash is going to be quite exciting. Eala, the seasoned giant killer who has previously shown that, when performing at her best, she can defeat players in the top 10, is up against Mboko, a rising Canadian star who has been on fire all year and has all the momentum she needs. Despite only being 19 years old, Mboko has amassed over $1.4 million in career prize money, is 1.78 meters tall, and plays a strong right-handed game. This season, she has an outstanding win-loss record and is exhibiting the steadiness that Eala has been looking for.